My name is Paolo, and together with Katie, I rode the 765 kilometers between Lowestoft and St Ives in 2021. Please watch the introduction video in the playlist for more details. The entire journey took 10 days, and this video shows our ride on the third day, from St Ives in the county of Cambridgeshire, not to be confused with St Ives in Cornwall, to the village of Ecton in Northamptonshire, about 10 kilometers away from Northampton. There is a blog post available containing more details and pictures on icycle.com. The link to the post is on the top right corner now. If you have seen the previous video, then you probably know what to expect from this one. We do understand that these are rather long videos, but they do cover every meter of the way, and breaking them down in smaller videos would be just too time consuming. Thank you for your support and patience. We hope these videos may be of help to you if you decide to undertake the same journey. Please do pay us a coffee if you think they helped you somehow. This is Houghton Mill, in the village of Houghton in Cambridgeshire. There has been a mill at this site for over 1,000 years. No one knows for sure the exact origins of the mill, but early documents indicate that by 974 AD, the manor of Houghton, including a flour mill, was given to the newly established Ramsay Abbey. The current building, however, dates from Victorian times, around 18th century, about. The peak of its prosperity was in the 1850s, when the mill was producing 1 ton of top-quality flour per hour. But by the end of the 1920s, it was reduced to producing animal feed. The mill is now owned by the National Trust as an historical building, and throughout the year it hosts several flour production workshops and has also a tea room and a camping site nearby. A link to the Houghton Mill is in the description below. The reason we decided to stay on the outskirts of Northampton was to give us a little break from the previous 2 long days. On the first day we had covered 92 kilometers and on the second 102. So on this third day we decided to intentionally keep it under 80 kilometers. My Garmin Forerunner 235 watch recorded a distance of 78.23 kilometers. But Katie's Wahoo Element Bolt by computer recorded a distance of 79.85 kilometers. GPS tracking is not a precise science, it seems.
Today may not have been as beautiful as some of the other days of the trip, but a slightly shorter day was much appreciated. It was also still fairly flat. You'll see there weren't any major hills, and we just did about 600 metres of elevation across the entire day. In case you're wondering, this is shared space we're cycling on. It looks like we're riding on the pavement, but when you see this kind of thing, it is actually shared space. It's for both pedestrians and bike path. big advantage of being on a bike is you get past the road closures.
The jet fighter you'll see in a few seconds marks the entrance to RAF Alconbury, one of the many air bases in this region of the country. This airbase, however, served the US Air Force until the area of the runway was sold in 2009. The site now hosts administrative functions of the RAF only and has no flight operations. Shortly after the plane, you'll find the entrance to the Beacon Centre, which is a Baptist place of worship in Little Stuckley, Cambridgeshire. And this is where we found the first way station of the day, named Rest for Your Souls. This way station was carved by the members of the Seven Seas Community Project in Norwich, many of which were struggling with addictions of one sort or another at the time it was made.
Paolo's asked me to talk a little bit about our next stop. It's primarily a way station at Little Gidding, but as you can see from this photo, I'm quite excited about being there. That's because it's really a place of literary pilgrimage for me. Little Gidding is the title of one of my very favourite poems, the last of T.S. Eliot's 4 quartets. It's a pity we couldn't get into the church at Little Gidding, because I'd have loved to have read a little bit of the poem, probably this bit. A people without history is not redeemed from time, for history is a pattern of timeless moments. So, while the light fails on a winter's afternoon, in a secluded chapel, history is now and England. And then, inevitably, the rain started again.
This was another reroute. We decided not to take this track, as we were a bit afraid of the amount of mud we would encounter at a later stage, so we decided to ride back a few hundred meters and stick to the road. Please pay attention to the little map coming up. The map highlights yet another little navigation mistake we've made. Don't ask me why we didn't continue on the track as the green line shows. I can't remember the reason why we backtracked and took the track onto the field on the left. Fact is, we should have continued, and that would have cut another kilometer and saved us about 15 minutes in the journey.
we're back on the road. It's all part of the fun.
And there it is, rain again. England has an average of 180 days of rain in the year. Keep that in mind when planning your journey.
On the plus side, at least it wasn't cold.
In a few seconds, I'm gonna flash a little map on screen again. Please listen to this commentary and freeze the frame if you wanna take a better look at the map. We're about to enter a place called Stanwick Lakes Country Park, which is owned by the East Northamptonshire District Council and open to the public. For some reason, we got a little bit confused and cycled around the large car park, when we could have just followed the route in green. Stanwick Lakes Country Park comprises of 750 acres, or 304 hectares, of former gravel pits. Prior to the construction of a bypass road, a Roman villa was excavated between 1984 and 1992, and several mosaics were found. In 2013, one of the mosaics was returned after being studied and is now on display in the park's visitor center. There are still extensive archaeological remains in this area, including a mid to late Anglo-Saxon and medieval settlements abandoned before 1450. Yeah, we weren't feeling very safe on this road in this weather, but we could not find any viable alternatives. In for a penny, in for a pound, as they say.
Thank you very much to Paolo here for being my wingman. It was pretty nasty cycling. Allegedly, that's a bike path on the left. It was totally unrideable for much of this stretch and we had to stay on the road. I suppose if you're doing a whole coast to coast, then some dodgy bits of bike path are regrettably going to be unavoidable.
We arrived at the World's End Hotel in Ecton, which is about 8 kilometers from the center of Northampton. The hotel was nice, the food was outstanding, and the room was big enough to accommodate our bikes, although they might have regretted not being able to find us somewhere else to put them when they saw the state of the carpet the next day. I hope our experiences helps you to avoid making the same mistakes we've made. And if this video served you, please feel free to donate a coffee to help with the costs of maintaining the blog and the work of producing this material. Depending on when you're watching this video, you may jump right into day 4 of our 10 days journey now. Thanks for watching.